What's up, blind viewers? Alright, today I'm going to do a little colored pencil portrait for you. Now, as you watch, I want you to try and guess who it is. I think you're going to know. Most of you will know anyway, but try to guess who it is. Now, I was never trained. I never took classes or went to school or anything, so some of my techniques might be a little off. Might not do everything quite right. I am self-taught, but along the way I will kind of explain some of the things I'm doing and try to tell you why I'm doing them. So sit back and enjoy as I draw this little portrait for you. As you can see, I'm just laying down some skin tones and got everything outlined in the basic shapes of everything going, where everything is going to be, everything plotted out. Pretty sure most of you have guessed who this is by now. Alright, so you can imagine that the light is coming in from the left side of the page, because when this person trying to find a good photo reference, something to go by and get a good picture from, this camera works sometimes. I didn't want to draw a big nose or an ear or just a beard, so the best picture that I got was from him in his room with that window that's over there. So the light's coming from one side, and yeah, you're gonna say, well, why is his one eye black? And like, well, see, the light comes over, you got the brim of the hat, light from one side, so one side is just pretty much all shadows and darkness and very little. Even of the eye that does get on the lighted side doesn't really catch a lot of light because of the brim of the hat and I guess the angle of the camera and everything. It's a rough thing to do to get a good reference photo. But I did my best, and I can only draw what I see. It's starting to come together pretty well. Got the main head shape going on, and got the patented hoodie. Here I'm showing you that I use a odorless thinner. It actually blends the colored pencil, which is like a waxy type thing. So this blends everything together. If you see down in the beard how it looks all discolored, that's because it's still wet. And when it dries, you won't be able to see that it's there. Still blending with the brush and the odorless thinner. That's what I'm doing there. Also do that with the skin tones and everything. That's one way to blend. You blend that way, you don't ruin the tooth of the paper, and you can still go back over and apply different colors and more layers of color. Burnishing is the other method to use to blend, but once you burnish, you kind of flatten out and pretty much ruin, not ruin, but you damage the tooth of the paper, so it's harder to add more layers on top because everything's flat and you're just kind of putting other waxy buildup on top of wax. As when you use the thinner, it doesn't do anything to the tooth of the paper, so you can still add more stuff a lot easier. Trying to get the shadows and the folds in the hoodie, trying to get them kind of more defined. You notice I go over things a lot, over and over and over. It adds depth, makes it look a little bit more realistic. Keep going back up to the face. Got to add those darker tones for the shadows, so when I do add the highlights later, they pop. And to let you know why everything's dark on one side, so you can pretty much just by looking at it, you can tell where the light source is coming from. Lots of layers, lots of layers. That's the thing with colored pencils, it's real hard to do. It's not like paint or anything, you gotta keep going over and over. Here I'm using an X-Acto knife or a craft knife to put those little wild flyaways, those stray hairs. Basically just kind of scrape off the color, and it leaves like a little strand, real fine strands for those little flyaways in the beard. It's a good technique for any kind of hair. You can add highlights and dark or blonde hair with that too. Here's the white gouache. That is what I use for highlights. I have an old ashtray I use. I put a little dab, just a little dab of the gouache there, and then you can use just the gouache like it is, but it's really, really white and it's kind of real thick and pasty. You can use it that way, but I use just one little drop of water, kind of not it all over, but on the side. That way I can pull from just the gouache, or I can pull for the pull from the watered down portion. And when you use it a little bit watered down, you put it down and it looks white, and then it kind of soaks into the paper and kind of goes away, but it doesn't, it still stays there. So if you don't want a real white, bright highlight, you can use the watered part. But for anything white, you can use just the gouache. I use it to put more flyaways and strands in the beard and fix up the facial hair. And now we're doing highlights on the little eyelets where the drawstring comes out of the hoodie hood, and a little portion over where the zipper pull is, and just things like that. Touch up little highlights, make it pop and look a little bit more realistic. There it is, all done. Dave Hughes. That's right, Dave Hughes. It's Dave's birthday, so either tomorrow or the day after. Anyway, his birthday's coming up, so this is for Dave. Happy birthday to Dave. Hope you enjoyed this little color pencil drawing. This is BlindViews. Thanks for watching.
What we do here is go back.
Loud.